Hello everyone. I'll make this as short as I can because y'all know I'm long-winded. But this is going to be about the racist treehouse, and y'all who know who they are, and the Jessica Chambers case. Now, anybody who follows these racist tree people and reads the comments on those pages back since Trayvon Martin knows that these people on these pages are the most racist, bigoted, homophobic, gun-loving, cop-loving nuts that you will ever run across on the internet. So, if you follow the Jessica Chambers case, she's a 19-year-old girl who was found burnt either in her car or next to her car in Mississippi about 2 weeks ago. And the conservative treehouse racists have now taken this up as their cause because, you know, it's a white victim, and of course, whoever did this has to be a black thug villain who deserves to die. So, the only reason that I'm even making this video is to prove my point to everybody that, and anybody who reads that page knows, but anybody who is just following, just coming into Jessica Chambers, just finding out about this conservative treehouse and doesn't know who these people are, they are racist, and they will try to make you think, oh, we're not, we're good people. Look, we've stood up for this black person, or we've stood up for this black person. Go read back from March of 2012 on, and just take a sampling of those comments. And you'll see up here, I have a sampling of just one, and I have a few more to show. But I'm bringing this up in the Jessica Chambers case because, again, she's a white 19-year-old girl who was murdered in Mississippi, and they haven't found the murderer yet. So, of course, everybody at the racist treehouse thinks that it's got to be a black person, because no white person would ever do something so horrible to a white girl. Now, my point about Jessica is, I don't know her, don't know anything about her, and I'm not judging her. But based on the information that has been dug up since this has happened, she was very much a member of the gang life. She hung around with drugs, people who, you know, were in gangs, the gun violence, the women beating. She had a boyfriend who used to beat her. Her parents had lots of legal troubles themselves. Her dad was convicted of selling meth. Her brother had a troubled life just like she did. And none of that is important to me or to most of the world. But if you recall, the conservative treehouse people made every excuse in the book for why Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old boy who was black, was the biggest thug ever known to mankind. It was his parents' fault. It was his fault for not doing better in school. It was his fault for being dealt a raw deal in life if he had one. It was his fault for being in that neighborhood at 7 o'clock at night walking. It was his fault that George Zimmerman followed him. I mean, everything about Trayvon Martin, who was 17, was his fault. They gave him absolutely zero breaks, no chances, second chances, nothing. He was a thug who deserved to die, in their opinion. Now, we have this 19-year-old girl who is white, who has a criminal record herself, who I believe was for assault. For assault. She hung around gangs. Her father was a meth manufacturer and dealer. She was in an abusive relationship. She, as far as we know, was headed nowhere in life, and that's not her fault, and I'm not judging her for that. But the point is, if you read this comment I have on my page, and this is just a sampling of this page, about the white 19-year-old girl, as opposed to Trayvon Martin. When it comes to the white 19-year-old girl, the attitude, and this is resemblance of the whole entire attitude of the comments if you go over there and read them. This is just a sampling of one. And I have many, but you can go over there and see them yourself. But this one, as you'll see, it says, you got handed a bad hand in this life, meaning Jessica. Lots of troubles, lots of poor decisions, but what one of us has never made poor decisions? Most of us live past the age of 19 to tell about it. Absolutely true. Now, why couldn't you replace in there Trayvon Martin? You got handed a bad hand in this life. Lots of troubles, lots of poor decisions, but what one of us has never made poor decisions? Most of us live past age 17 to tell about it. You will not find that comment anywhere on the Conservative Treehouse page. Nowhere. You won't find that comment in regards to Mike Brown. You won't find it in regards to Tamir Rice. You won't find it in regards to any black victim out there. But when it comes to this 19-year-old girl, she was handed a bad deal in life, and she was just struggling to make it out, and she was doing the best that she could because she's a white 19-year-old girl. You won't read on this blog that she has a arrest record, that she was involved in drugs, she was involved in gangs, she was involved in drugs, her parents were bad people. No, she was dealt a raw hand in life, and it wasn't her poor 19-year-old white heart's fault. But black 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, who was 2 years younger than her, had absolutely no chance at being the victim because he was black. Oops, wrong way. So here's another one. Battered women's shelter, because Jessica was in a battered women's shelter. Why was she not home with her parents? 19 or not, she is mentally a kid. Did you catch that? So if you're a white girl and you're 19, you're mentally a kid. If you were a 17 or 18-year-old black male, or even a 12-year-old black male, Tamir Rice, you are a full-fledged adult, and you deserve every goddamn thing that the police or any other authority figure or non-authority figure, George Zimmerman, wants to deal out with you. You have no rights. You have no repercussions from the law, and anything that you do is your fault. You get no passes for life treating you bad. You get no passes for a bad upbringing. You get no passes for poor decisions if you are a black 17-year-old, 18-year-old, or 12-year-old. You were an adult and you made those decisions. But if you're a black, or if you're a white 19-year-old girl from Mississippi who was involved in gangs, drugs, violence, and all the other, she was just mentally a child. Now, are you seeing the difference? Now, this is from their leader, Sundance, who likes to get on other people for not identifying themselves on the internet, for not having pictures of themselves in their avatar. Yet, Sundance won't identify himself. He doesn't use an avatar. He thinks he's this big bad media personality because media comes to him, but yet he hides in the shadows. He likes to talk about exposing the sunlight on all these issues. And he likes to go in and he likes to dox all these people in regards to all these cases, these quote-unquote witnesses who have nothing to do with it. He likes to dox them, put all their information on his webpage, so that way the information can get out there. He likes to shine the sunlight. But yet Sundance won't reveal who he is. Sundance won't go on a TV media interview because he doesn't want the world to know who he is. Sundance won't post a picture of who he is. He is the coward. Sundance is the one who thinks that he is all above. Sundance is nothing but a racist, KKK, leading scumbag piece of shit who likes to masquerade as more important than what he is because he has a few followers on a blog that nobody cares about, that he likes to defend racist acts by white cops, white vigilantes, or anything that is not white. He is only about villainizing things that are not white. If it is white, every excuse in the book will be made to defend it. If it is any other color, you get no second chances, no opportunities, nothing. But this is a comment from him in regards to Trayvon Martin. And if you see the underlined part, it says, "The kid with Skittles is now the 17-year-old drug-dealing thug, and white vigilante who shot him is now known to be a Hispanic victim of fraudulent, politically based, malicious prosecution." From Sundance. So, Trayvon Martin is the 17-year-old drug-dealing thug who he has no convictions of drug dealing. He has no criminal record that would label him a thug. Yet this girl, Jessica Chambers, has a criminal record, hung out with gangs, guns, drugs, dad was a meth dealer, all of this, but yet she's just mentally a child, and everything needs to be done to protect her. And just as further proof that these people don't care about anybody and that they have a huge double standard, if you go on their webpage in regards to this Jessica Chambers case, because it's the easiest one to access right now, it's the closest to the front, you will see they have posted all types of personal information on the gas station owner, all these people they've scrounged up on Facebook. And go have a look. They've posted all of my personal information. Since way back in Trayvon Martin days, I'm not a witness. I ain't nobody. I'm just somebody who is interested in the case just like they are. Yet they decided to dig into all my personal information and post it all over their website. I don't know what good they thought that was going to do, but again tonight they've started posting my tweets to their webpage because they know that they're racist. They know that everything that they do has to do with their white power, and they just don't want to admit it. And what's really sad about this now is, if you recall, this website helped raise over $500,000 each for Darren Wilson, who killed Mike Brown, and George Zimmerman, who murdered Trayvon Martin. Both of those people raised over $5,000 with a lot of help from this website. Jessica Chambers, who they are just so in love with and so seeking justice for, her family has only received a little over $20,000 in donations so far. So, is the real motivation here, is it justice or is it racism? These people have now decided they're going to buy all these poinsettias and they're going to set them on the road because nobody's made this memorial to Jessica, and they're just outraged. But they're not outraged enough to send money to Jessica's family like they did George Zimmerman's family and Darren Wilson's family, to the tune of over $500,000. So do these people really care about Jessica? Or do they really care that they think that all black people are evil and should be killed? Because they don't know who did this crime, yet read that page. They all have it figured out. It was a black person. It may have very well been a black person. But if it was most likely one of her old abusive ex-boyfriends, which doesn't make it racially motivated, it makes it domestically motivated, which to these people will never matter. And let it come out that this was a white person who done this, and this case will be dropped like a hot potato off this website. Guarantee it. So, Sundance, for somebody who likes to shine the light, why don't you turn that spotlight around on yourself and post your personal home address, your full name and social security number and date of birth for the world to see, like your webpage is supporting doing to others, including me, who have nothing to do with any of these cases, just like you have nothing to do with any of these cases. Why don't you man up, turn that spotlight around on you, and shine the sunlight on you? I'll tell you why. Because you're a racist, and you know that if anybody finds out who you are, and anybody who cares, you will be exposed for what you are, and your little website where you beg for money all the time and these racists send you fucking money too will be over. And your little sitting at home, living off welfare from racist bloggers will be over. Sundance, stay hidden in the darkness because that's where you belong. Nobody wants to see your ugly racist face out here. Along with the rest of y'all fucking disgusting ass pieces of shit.